Welcome to the BHOPB Network. This is week 12 of the Weekly Huddle. We are the recovery team with Vance Johnson.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Chris Jones.
Thank you.
McDonald Oden and Sean Dykes. And
Happy
I'm Randy Grimes. Who wants to go first?
You know what? Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
No, I want to talk football.
You wanna talk
do
some
we want
football?
to talk Thanksgiving already? Do we want to talk about what we're thankful for? That's what I want to do.
Certainly.
Since this is our Thanksgiving show, let's start the segment off with me saying how grateful I am for my sobriety and for everything that's happened to me in the last 6.5 years of recovery. Everything that was promised to me from the start has come true, and it just keeps getting better every day because I choose on a daily basis not to pick up.
Great.
You know,
Awesome.
and
Actually, and I agree. I second you, Randy. Randy, when I was here in rehab, talked about when he met with the guys how if you just do the next right thing, then restoration and all good things will follow that. And that's exactly what happened. And sometimes that's all you have to believe in is that I'm here in rehab, I'm getting the help that I need. There are a lot of things that I have to face when I leave this facility, but then if you just stay patient and you just follow the process and you take the steps, slowly but surely things will start happening in your life that you'll start, your family will be restored. You'll start getting a job again. You'll start getting a car. You'll start just getting respect from people, and family members will start loving you. So I'm just so thankful for that, Randy. And this is like the first time since I've been sober that I'm able to now enjoy a holiday season with my wife and my children. And like I'm sober, man, and so I can see them. And I look forward to the rest of the holiday season.
that's one of the
I'm thankful
miracles of
also,
recovery.
I'm thankful for you guys as a team. What we do, well, especially in the community, our community team out there at each and every center that we always go to, and thankful for helping them guys out, to get through their pain, so they can get sober and healthy again.
And this is tough sometimes for those guys during the holiday season being in rehab.
Exactly. So I'm just thankful for my family and you guys.
What about Grumpy Cat?
Mac!
He's not grumpy today.
No. I tell you what, I have so many things to be grateful for. Just beginning with my friends who have stood by me all the times that I had been going through different turmoils and different situations. And also my family. As I think one of you guys mentioned that I have my family back today.
Awesome.
Which is very rewarding for me. I talk to my dad every day, and that's rewarding. And my sister and my brothers. So it's good to have my family back, and also continue to stay sober and work in a great program, and also that most importantly to have the support of the company behind all my endeavors. So I'm really proud of that.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Congratulations, man.
Well, of course, I'm thankful for family, health, and like Chris said, you guys, it's great to be amongst you guys and come here every week and be able to put on a show like this. So, just health, man, and being able to, be thankful for the little things, getting up every morning, having my health, and being in my right mind, and being able to go to work. So, because those are a lot of things that people really take for granted sometimes when you have it. So just being grateful, man. I'm just thankful, just for everyday life.
And you've got that like Santa thing going on right now, man. I like that. Absolutely.
I wanted to reach over there and wipe it off.
Well, that's the same thing my daughter says. She said, "Daddy, wash your face. You got some dirt on it." I'm like, really? So no, I'm just really grateful, man, for to connect with you guys again. A lot of times we're misunderstood as ball players, but I feel like you guys get me because we kind of come from that same world a little bit. So it's an automatic gel. It's an automatic connection there. So I'm very grateful for that. So thank you guys for that.
And speaking of you guys getting me,
Yeah.
Did y'all get me last week when I said the Buccaneers were going to?
Oh my goodness, we did get you, man.
Oh,
That's
man.
How do you feel about that?
Hey,
I mean, we're not mad at me, are you?
no, I'm not mad at you.
Because we really thought
it's just time. It's time for Chip Kelly to step up. He need to show some
Step
identity.
up or step down?
up. He need to step up. He need help. He cannot run this whole show by himself. I don't see why Jeffrey Lurie gave him all this power, and you see it's costing him. He ain't showing no identity of the team. He's not. I don't even know what to say about my soaring Eagles. They just flopping.
Well, you should just say good things about Jameis Winston.
That's one thing I must say. I commend that young man because that young man is taking up all the hype that he was given. He is really feeding off of it. You know, hey, he set a record, 5 touchdowns.
5 different people.
So you think, Randy,
and just a great defense. I consider Eagles have a powerful defense, and he really did it against them.
Is that going to be Winston's season now? Is this something that you can see the rest of the season?
Yes, I can
He's getting better every year. I mean, back-to-back wins is big for the Bucs. So now they're talking about three-peat, but that's the kind of momentum they got to get going. And defense is starting to really step up. You know, running game starting to step up. So it's going to.
We talked about
kind of like the Broncos.
You know, the Broncos have to step up.
They have to.
I'm glad we had a chance to win the ball game. You know, we didn't score very many points. I think it was 15-17 against the Bears. They beat Fox, so you know it was going to be a tough game, a heightened game. Everyone was going to be excited to be out there. I was just excited to see Osweiler just go out there and really play a great offense at quarterback position and make a lot of plays. I know defense showed up too to hold the Bears down to the 15 points they did, and it got really close all the way to the end of the game. I'm just glad we pulled it out, but now I'm a little concerned about the rest of the season, playing against New England coming up. So we'll see.
At least he's had a week to prepare and not
Yep,
just had
that's
to
right.
come in.
And
That's
whether
got
or
to be
not-
the hardest job to come in on.
That is our hardest job. And whether, Manning's going to really come back. I don't know if he's going to come back this year or not, because the injury is something pretty significant. And once you get, 39 years old, almost 40 years old, you don't heal as fast as you used to.
Or he's 50, right?
Think about it, you started to see
He's closer to 50, right?
Think about it, you started to see Kubiak offense too. He had a lot of snaps up under the center.
That's right.
So
And I think that's what he's wanting to go to. What about those Browns, man?
Well, we had an open date
Yeah.
this week, and but
Did
obviously,
y'all still lose?
That's why you're resting.
fortunately, we didn't lose this week. But we had an open date. This week we're coming up playing the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Monday night game. And not to mention that our quarterback, the great Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Football.
Johnny Champagne Football is the starting quarterback, and we'll elaborate on that as we get further into the segment. But no, I think that right now, as I mentioned before, the Cleveland needs to focus on next year.
Yeah. Speaking of next year, would you like to see them maybe bring in a quarterback like a Peyton Manning? I know you had some choice words for him.
No, Peyton is over the hill. Peyton can't do anything for us right now. We need to go out and draft a good, strong, tall first-round draft choice quarterback who's committed to winning.
We're going to probably have that opportunity.
Right.
That's a
True.
no-brainer.
Which I welcome it. I think that as we will reveal later on in the show, I think that Cleveland needs to obviously cut the losses and start focusing on next year, getting rid of the general manager and also the head coach, because with the quarterback being Manziel, he's cancerous, so it's time for them to revamp the entire offense.
That's obvious.
it's rough.
How about those Jets real quick?
Well, you know what? I think our confidence is way down, man. We've lost. I mean, we saw our top cornerback getting beat a couple of times this week. So I think on offense and defense, the confidence is way down. These guys got to kind of get their swagger back a little bit, play some solid football on both sides of the ball. I don't know if they've kind of lost some of that connection they had with the coach's game plan. Maybe he needs to simplify it a little bit or something. But I don't know. They lost their confidence. They're not playing with the confidence they had in the beginning, and that's why we see that. That's why we
like a quarter horse.
Well, I mean, we talked about that all every week about how teams come out firing off and they got that hype and they're ready to go, and then all of a sudden you have 1 or 2 losses. And if you can't bounce back from that, then you find yourself on that downward slide of not winning or getting yourself back up. So I think they have a confidence issue right now. I think coach maybe need to go back and maybe simplify the plan a little bit for them and just play some football. Make it simple so those guys can go out there and play. And we got a test this week coming up with Miami. And Miami is not no walk in the park now. They've been playing some competitive football. So we'll see how this week's turned out also.
Yeah. And we'll be right back.
Behavioral Health of the Palm Beaches Recovery Center for Men provides quality, evidence-based treatment to men battling addiction. Offering medical detox, expert counseling from licensed clinical therapists, and activity-based therapies, we help men overcome their addiction and rebuild their lives. We understand the unique substance abuse issues that men face and are ready to help you take your life back. Visit rehabformen.com to get your fresh start.
Welcome back to the Weekly Huddle. And, guys, I want to talk a little bit about what's in the news again now, and that's Johnny Football. He's celebrating a 2-night bender with champagne, all the news articles, even the news clips. They've actually got video. And, we all know recovery works, but you have to work it. Right. So, I don't want to harp on this forever. I think we beat this kid up all the time. I think he's a great kid. He's just got some issues. But you know what? I don't want people to think that recovery doesn't work. You have to put some effort into it. You have to do the things that are suggested by people who've been successful. And, what's y'all's opinion on that?
My opinion is I've been up all night watching this, dang video that our CEO of the company sent over to me in the middle of the night, and I just watched it over and over again. I just got more and more frustrated as I thought about my sons and how they actually idolized this guy when he was playing in college. Now here he is, and he is the face of the NFL. He's not only put his hands on a woman, which I'm not one to say that I didn't have domestic issues in the past, but I had to get help for that. Now he's, he got busted drinking and driving, and they let him go. Now he's out partying again with champagne in his hand and rapping and cussing. This is something that TMZ or someone is playing over the internet, and all these children are watching this thing. And no one's saying, listen, this is the face of the NFL, and something has to happen. There has to be a chance where someone says, now this is going to be it. This is where it stops. And that's the reason why we come up here every week, so that maybe someone's going to see us and ask us to go into the NFL, go into the NFLPA, and offer some hope to these guys, so they can see this is not the way that you're supposed to be. I don't want my kids having to follow this guy and saying, I want to be like him when I grow up.
Well, one of the things you got to look at, too, also, we're expecting a behavior to change that's not going to change overnight from this young man. And now we all sort of
kick him off the dang league.
Well, you can't do that, because then you have to kick half of the league out.
Start kicking.
You know what I mean? But once again, get him a recovery coach, somebody to be with him to help him out. But we can't expect the behavior to change that's always been there, gentlemen. It doesn't change overnight, and it takes a process, like you talked about earlier. So get him the help he needs, and maybe if you do release him for a year or two, or whatever the case may be, but there are no disciplines, and whenever there's no consequences for the your actions, then the behavior doesn't change.
You said a key thing, recovery coach.
Right. I understand that, Sean. What's the first thing that you have to do when you get into recovery, when you're coming out? You got to change your surroundings. He still got these same guys around him. They drinkers from college and everything. And you see that the social media. How you gonna let your boy that you rolling with get caught on social media with these camera phones, and you in the club got him tossing them up? Come on, man. You know somebody was going to see that.
Well, but the bottom line is, once again, we can't expect the behavior to change, because this is what he's done. He's gotten away with it even when he was in college. So now he's got more money. But you got to understand, that affects the locker room, too.
I see that. I'm getting my ass kicked every weekend and week out, and I got my quarterback out there partying like we winning championships.
Okay, so Randy said in the very beginning, sometimes when you have those issues, you have to deal with them as a team. So the team needs to step up and get on his butt, first of all, because it's an in-house deal. So all this stuff they're seeing, if somebody in that locker room doesn't grab him by his collar and say, hey, man, you're the face of this organization. You need to get yourself together right now so we can turn this thing around. We need you to be our leader. That starts in the locker room.
Matt, you know what? And you come from Cleveland, so we're going to expect you to make that call, brother.
No, I
veteran step up, right?
Well, right now, I think I'm just going beyond football. I'm looking at him as a sick individual who has an illness. Just away from the game of football, because certainly we've all been there. We know that he has an illness, and I would like to see him just become healthy and become an all-around citizen. Not for football, just to save his life. Because the kid has talent, but he has a life also. So Johnny, get your life together, son. Get your life together. You have so much to offer, especially these young guys who idolize you, look up to you. Get your life together.
And one thing I kind of disagree with Sean about, I believe in true recovery, behaviors do change, and I think it's a matter of just keeping it simple, just doing the next right thing. That's all he has to do. And I do expect the veterans to stand up and take charge of this. They're the only ones that are going to have any influence on him, because obviously there are no consequences. And we all know that we all respond to consequences. And you know what? It's a holiday season. There's all the stress of family, of traveling, of speaking of behaviors, all the behaviors that go on with family events, and this is a very stressful time of year, and this is a time that a lot of problems arise. People who self-medicate because they don't want to deal with those issues at home or whatever. You know, what's you guys' experience with that?
It's funny because I was just in West Virginia and I had a chance to go through and have layovers in North Carolina. And just sitting there and watching people travel for the holidays, you can see the stress in their faces. Not only do we have this terrorist threat all over the world, but people are having to be around family members. And and you talked about it off camera, that you have that cousin and that uncle that's dealing with stuff from 20 years ago that's still drinking.
That's true.
Over that issue.
Absolutely, because that's one thing that I tell my family and friends. Hey, we have a family member that have issues with drinking or drugs. Please don't bring that around the house, because that triggers him, and next thing you know, he'll be going outside to the car trying to get something to drink. That's how it is.
That's my cousin.
I'm telling you, that's how it is. I'm telling you. And with my red cup, I'm telling you, they trying to go get it. Then next thing you know, the party is blown out of proportion. He's starting to cut up and talking about the 20 years ago.
Yes, right.
And I think that's key what Chris said. I said when you're around family, or if you got somebody that's in recovery, I think the family have to be conscious of that too. We want you to have a good time, but you may have to do something different opposed having alcohol and all those things in the house. I think you have to. It's a group effort when you got somebody in recovery. Everybody around you has to be conscious of your sickness and your illness. We got to be careful of those people who are dealing with depression and all those things there, because all those things come on during this season, during this holiday season, because if you've lost a loved one or your finances not where they're supposed to be this year, all those things cause depression. So we got to be conscious of those family members around us and those friends around us who are dealing with certain issues.
Sean, some families, though, the whole entire family is dealing with some type of addiction.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, and that's very paramount in a lot of families these days. Everybody's dealing with something. So, you got to be conscious of those things and make a valid effort to change some of the behaviors within the whole family so everybody can get well.
Mac, you were talking about how the family is reunited, man. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm just dealing with me personally how the holidays mean such a great deal to me and my family today. I share a story that my family today, they know where I am during the holidays. My father always tell me, son, I love you. You take care of yourself. Yeah. And about over a year ago, that wasn't the story.
Wow.
They were all wondering, is he alive or is he dead? So certainly this is a great holiday for my entire family, for me to call them and wish them all happy Thanksgiving, and that's a treat for me.
That's fantastic.
Awesome, man.
Great.
Awesome.
And you know what? If family wasn't enough of stress, we've got all these elevated terrorist threats and all that. I mean, I got to fly today, so I believe me. You think I hadn't thought of something like that one? But that's the kind of stress that everybody's dealing with, and everything that's going on. And that's what we do as America. We self-medicate. We're the most medicated nation in the world. So that's how we do it. We'll be right back.
Today, I have my family back. Today, my father calls me his son again. Today, I can say, I love you, Pop, and he'll say, I love you back. That's a good feeling.
Welcome back to the Weekly Huddle. And Sean, what's going to happen this week?
Well, I'm going to stick with my Jets, of course, but like I said earlier, these guys really have to get some confidence. They have to really find their swagger again. They're going against the Dolphins. The Dolphins have been playing pretty exciting lately. They've been playing competitive football, so I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park.
Inspired football.
And it's one of those rivalries that, as a matter of fact, I got my first start on Monday night against the Dolphins when I was with the Jets. So it was Joe Robbie Stadium back then before they changed the name of the game. So it's been a rivalry that dates all the way back. It's always been a good game. I think it's going to be a good game here. I'm going to go with the Jets. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. But I'm going to give us the edge and say we're going to win. I'm not going to say by how much. We're just going to win.
All right.
Browns? How about those Browns?
Browns, we're playing the Ravens.
And they've got a hurt quarterback.
Right. Flacco, he's out for the year, so I don't know who their starting quarterback is going to be. And Johnny Manziel is starting for the Browns. I'm kind of like torn between whether I want the Browns to win or lose because
You want the first round pick.
Exactly. It's
sad to say, but it's true.
It's sad to say, but it's true. If we lose, then we'll obviously be in a situation where we could possibly get the first round pick. But also, I was thinking like the Steelers win, so I'm kind of torn. But I think the Browns will or should win this ball game minus Flacco being out of the game.
All right, and my Buccaneers, they're going to Indianapolis. We're
3 straight.
2 in a row. We're
Yeah.
talking 3-peat, back to back to back. I think this is the time that they're going to do it. Defense is clicking. They finally got on board. The running game's working. Passing game was already working. So, Bucks all the way.
Well, I need a blow dry. Somebody blow dry
Blow dry your wings.
man, because we ain't been soaring lately. But I tell you, Chip Kelly need to find some identity for this team. Hey, like I say, just get aboard the ball, DeMarco Murray. You paid the money, let the boy run the ball. Sanchez, time for you to, it's your chance right now to show the world that you can be a franchise quarterback. But right now, you're not demonstrating it. Because you are mobile enough to run this offense. You've been in this offensive system for over 2 years, and you should be flourishing in it. But, hey, I'm going with the Eagles. I can't go against my team. Eagles over the line.
Now, everyone has to watch this game. Broncos and the Patriots. In Denver. Patriots a little bit beat up because I know they played against Buffalo. You and I both picked Buffalo. Unfortunately, they didn't win that game. But I think they beat up their quarterback enough that he's going to come in there. Brady is, and the Broncos having still like the number 1, number 2 defense in the NFL.
Yes.
They're going to run all over Brady's. So, and we're going to win this ball game. You know what? I forgot we were on camera for a second. But I'm taking the Broncos in Denver, Colorado. Mile High Stadium, brother. It's going to be a great game.
Awesome.
And with that, we have the game of the week. And that's going to be a tradition. We got the Packers against the Bears.
On Thanksgiving.
You know, what's that double what thing?
Discount
Double check.
Double check, and then you got Madden who just retired. That quarterback, he can throw the ball.
That's right.
Boom! So I'm going with boom. I'm going with the Packers.
Good pick. I'm going with the Bears.
What?
I'm going with the Bears. In Chicago.
The game's in
I'm
Green
still
Bay.
going with the Bears. I feel like this defense is something about the defense that John Fox does demonstrate defense.
Mike Singletary don't play no more.
I understand that. Hey, I'm pulling
The
up.
fridge ain't there anymore.
I'm pulling
Fridge
up.
ain't there?
So y'all call me. I be eating my turkey legs.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, I'm a Packers guy. I'm all the way. I think that, especially this traditional game, this is a big game. It's at home. It's going to be the place to be for football this week. So
Right.
I'm going with the Packers.
Good and cold.
I'm going with the Packers also. I think that Packers, they always play great on Thanksgiving. I think that with the win that the Packers got over Minnesota really ignited them, and I'm going with the Packers.
I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think the Packers played, pretty good last weekend also, but I just think it was just one of those things. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think it's gonna be hard fought again. One of those blue collar games, but I'm gonna take the Bears and see the Bears win.
All right. And that's it for this week's show. And as always, if you or anybody that you know is suffering from this disease of addiction, give us a call. You can find us at BHPalmBeach.com. You can find us at Athletes in Recovery. Each one of us have a Facebook page. Reach out to us. There is hope. We can help.
Gobble, gobble.